Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the formulajonah live stream channel. It's good to be back doing these broadcasts, and I'm joined once again by my live stream co-host, David. David, welcome back. We are doing live streams on January 22nd as we prepare for the start of the IMSA season in 2025. It's time for the crown jewel of the season, the Rolex 24 at Daytona. Welcome to everybody who's joined so far. Thank you so much for your support. It has been absolutely incredible over these last few weeks. Can you believe it, David? The last time we did a live stream was for Petit Le Mans, which was a couple of months ago, actually. So it's been a while, but yeah, we're getting back into it, and we're covering the biggest event of the IMSA season. First up, how are you doing? And are you excited for this weekend?
I'm excited as can be. I mean, you said a couple of months. It felt like a year ago because these slow seasons of racing is just horrible with no racing and no IMSA and no WEC. So going back into it with Daytona 24 is always a great time. So I'm ready. I know my predictions are right, and I know the race is going to be a great one.
Yeah, and we're going to be covering the predictions, as David mentioned, viewers, our predictions for the top three of each class at Daytona. We're also going to be kind of covering a lot of the pre-race details that need to be talked about. I wanted to make sure that we got a stream in before the big event because there's a lot to discuss, and we'll get into that shortly. But David, really excited to have you back here. Thank you so much for joining me once again. We will be doing lots of live streams in 2025, and this is just the first of many. But viewers, thank you so much for joining. We have a couple of people who have joined in so far. That number will continue to grow. Of course, the live streams usually take a while to kind of warm up and all that sort of thing. But I'm excited to say, as you can see on your screen, viewers, to the right, there's a picture of a BMW M Hybrid V8, and up at the top, it says, IMSA is back. And that's because that's true. That's a fact. IMSA is back. The off-season is over. It's time to get going with another season of action. And boy, oh boy, 2025. I can't even describe the emotions I'm feeling right now as we prepare for this incredible season. Not only do we have IMSA coming up, but we also have the WEC starting next month, which, of course, we will be covering a lot on. And then, even before that happens, the start of the Intercontinental GT Challenge. Something that we announced last year was that myself and David are going to be covering more content on the Intercontinental GT Challenge when it comes to live streams, when it comes to videos. I'm actually in the process of working on a Bathurst 12-hour race entry list for 2025, which will be coming out very shortly, because there's a lot of info coming that way as well. So a lot of racing to get started. But yeah, really looking forward to this. David, why don't we start off with Daytona? Because that is the event we're going to be covering today. That's the event that we're talking about. Why is this event so special compared to all the other IMSA endurance rounds? Is it because of the length, or is there something more to it?
Well, there's many factors. It's also special for endurance racing in general. It's the first big race of the year.
Right.
Of course, 24 hours on a great track like Daytona. We have the bus stop chicane. We have the infield in general, and that factor of this oval circuit layout really makes it stand out in terms of endurance racing. We don't see that a lot.
Right.
So, yeah, 24-hour racing is the first time we really see these cars back out on track and see how they perform and how they perform in a 24-hour race. It's what they're built to do, but obviously a lot of new factors. We don't see a new hypercar this race, but if Aston Martin were to bring that car, it would be an enormous test for this race as well. And we normally see cars break down now and have a really bad race that will come in on to the end of the season with good performances. BMW, a great example when they first joined. So yeah, it's a state mark race, and I'm just looking forward to see the cars back on the track in this beautiful race in at Daytona.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this one as well, and I think you put it really well, David, because we have a very exciting event that IMSA is putting on for the Rolex 24 at Daytona. 61 cars are joining the grid, and something I want to point out here, this was something I was going to get into a little bit later, but since a lot of folks are commenting this and kind of talking about this, I think it's a very relevant question, especially for newer fans and for fans that maybe don't know exactly. That is how to watch this IMSA race. I myself am a fan. I'm a normal fan like all of you watching right now. It's David as well, you know, and so us too, we need to watch the race. So if you're interested in endurance racing, if you're interested in this race, you have to watch it somehow. And actually, IMSA makes it very easy for folks to watch the race. It's pretty straightforward. Basically, if you're in the United States of America, the best place to watch it is on the Peacock streaming service. It's also on the USA Network, so that's going to be a great place to watch. The Rolex 24, of course, is I would say one of the bigger events when it comes to endurance racing in America as well. So if you're in the US, it's likely going to be there's likely going to be more coverage than other smaller events. Say maybe, for example, the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach, which is just a 1 hour and 15 or so minute event. If you're outside of the U.S., the best place to watch it is on YouTube. On IMSA YouTube or on IMSA TV. Those are the best places to watch it. IMSA just, I think at the 12 Hours of Sebring last year, introduced the ability to watch the action live on YouTube, which is a really great feature. I think that they're really capitalizing on what other series have done in the past. I think Intercontinental GT, I think, does the same. But yeah, so those are the best places to watch it. But I think there are other ways. I know that David in Denmark, IMSA content's not really streamed on the YouTube channel as well. I think you would know a little bit more about how to watch it if you're in Denmark, right?
Yeah, in Scandinavia, and I think also the Netherlands, if you live there, it's on Viaplay instead, because of some rights there.
Right.
So you have to, IMSA also put it on their website that you can, where to watch, where they list all the different terms for it. So in Scandinavia, if you live there, it's on Viaplay and Viaplay only, and you have to have the sports package for it as well. A bit more difficult here in Scandinavia and similar to the States, but in the rest of the world, it's on YouTube, and that's great. We need the WEC to do the same, but I'm sure that will come sometime.
Well, thank you for explaining that, David. Yeah, a lot of information, of course, to cover when it comes to watching this event live. And viewers, I also want to point out that myself and David will be live streaming the event as well. We'll be covering a watch-along. Of course, we can't show the video of it for copyright reasons, of course. We don't want to take anything away from IMSA, but we'll be kind of covering kind of like what we're doing right now and just talking about the event, talking about what's going on. And we'll be doing that for a long time on this Saturday, which will be very exciting. But I want to mention as well that in the comments and across social media, I have seen a lot of people are actually going to this event in person. But I think that's great because Daytona offers a lot of ability to watch this race. I myself won't be going there, unfortunately. I wish I was. California is quite a distance away from Florida as well. It's on the other side of the entire U.S. But yeah, I'd like to go there at one point, and I'm sure, David, you'd like to do the same.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we won't be going there this time.
Across the pond.
Right, exactly. But for those that are going, have a great time. Really, I truly mean that. I know quite a few friends that are going. A fellow content creator, Stu from Off in the S's, is heading to Daytona, if I'm not mistaken. I hope he has a great time there. And yeah, and speaking of him, we did a collaboration on a video recently about 5 facts that you need to know about the Rolex 24. Check out his video as well, because we did a collaboration over on the Off in the S's YouTube channel. So great to have him for that. But anyway, let's get into our main topic. We've talked about how to watch live, but we need to talk about this event itself. The entries. Daytona usually has a lot of entries. Of course, it's the big event of IMSA, 24 hours straight. But David, we have 61 cars out on track. and they'll be separated across 4 classes: GTP, LMP2, GTD Pro, and GTD. I want to ask, because you did mention that the Aston Martin Valkyrie won't be there, are there any entries that kind of stick out to you as some to mention heading into this event?
I mean, we'll get to that in the predictions as well, but I
That's
put
true.
Ford Multimatic down. It's the second time running here with that car. Last year was an awful race for them, to put it lightly. And I'm looking forward to see how they'll do this year, with a year under their belt in IMSA, and see that car perform a bit better. It seems to me that they have put up quite a bit more pace this year. Also to the BMWs, because it seems like they'll start fighting with the top pack. We've not really seen that in WEC, and a bit more in IMSA, but this year it really seems like they put the things together to make an incredible fast car. Of course, last year's winner in Porsche Penske, but also Meyer Racing coming back.
Right.
Just looking forward to see those cars fight. I mean, in GCP in general has been close every time we've been here. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Also with 4 classes instead of the 2 that we are used to in WC. So yeah, looking forward to it. A lot of great entries, and of course Rexy. I'm always happy to see that car. So yeah, just looking forward to another great race, with some teams coming back to old cars. We have Iron Dames back in the Porsche.
Right.
That's going to be great. They have had their best results in that car. So hoping they'll be a bit more on the pace this year as well.
Yeah, a lot of entries to look out for, and one that I want to mention as well, considering we just got a comment that mentioned, they said that I'm mainly a NASCAR fan, but getting into IMSA, great to have you with us, of course. But I do want to point out that for NASCAR fans, you're actually going to see a team that is kind of familiar to the NASCAR family, and that's Trackhouse Racing, who are going to be on the grid in GTD Pro for a one-off entry. Trackhouse, of course, synonymous with the NASCAR family, and they're going to be teaming up with TF Sport, who runs the Corvettes in the WEC. They have a lot of very exciting drivers joining the lineup. You got the likes of Ben Keating, Connor Zilic, Scott McLaughlin, who's an IndyCar driver, Shank Van Gisbergen, and I think that there's that car in particular is going to be one that we should definitely watch out for. Lamborghini are also entering GTP's Daytona event for the very first time. They'll be competing for overall victory, at least we hope so, for the very first time at Daytona. Last year, they made their debut at Sebring, of course, and they made an appearance as well at the I think it was in November, maybe January, of the Daytona test, the IMSA sanctioned test in 2023 or 4. And of course they appeared at Daytona, but didn't appear at the Rolex 24 at Daytona. But they'll be back for this event, and they have a lineup of Roman Grosjean, Danny Kvyat, Aurora Mortara, and Mirko Bortolotti. All 4 will be competing in that SC63, which will be run by the team known as, let me get this right, Automobili Lamborghini Squadra Corse. Not Iron Lynx, just to be clear. So it's an in-house Lamborghini team running that SC63. Proton Competition and JDC Miller Motorsports are fielding privateer Porsches once again. Last year, they were actually quite competitive. I believe they finished in 5th and 6th, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 6th and 7th. I can't remember exactly where they finished, but the Porsches are definitely looking strong once again. BMW, definitely a manufacturer to keep an eye on in GT and GTP. Over on the GT side, of course, they are bringing the Evo variant of the M4 GT3. There are going to be, I believe, 3 BMWs on the grid. So that includes 2 Paul Miller Racing entries in GTD Pro and 1 GTD entry, and that's from Turner Motorsports. So that's definitely an entry to keep an eye on. And then, of course, we got to talk about BMW in GTP, the Team RLL entries, because those in particular are looking very strong. If any of you catched up on the Roar before the 24 practice, you know that BMW looked very strong compared to previous years. I'm hoping that they have a very competitive Daytona. Last year, they had reliability issues. They were kind of competitive, but I hope that BMW are going to show some strong pace at Daytona. We'll definitely see how that goes. Meyershank Racing and Wayne Taylor Racing, new teams as well. David, maybe you can talk a little bit more about those teams, because they're returning to brands. Meyershank Racing is returning to IMSA entirely. Wayne Taylor Racing switching from Acura. What do you think about those two teams?
I mean, Meyershank Racing, the first time I really watched the full 24 hours of Daytona was when Meyershank Racing won last time. So, yeah, I mean, I've only known them to be one of the best teams in the grid. And for sure, back in that Acura, I mean...
Oh, hold on a second. I think we lost David for just a moment. Not sure what happened there. Give me one moment. Wonder what happened. One moment, please. Sometimes there's little internet issues and stuff like that when it comes to streams. It's only our first stream back, viewers, so give us a moment. Let's see if... Just a second. Yeah, sometimes there's these tech issues. I know it always happens when it comes to streams, but that's just how it goes. David's gonna try and rejoin, and then we're gonna get him back here. I don't know what happened. Maybe there was sometimes this happens with this issues that this streaming platform that I have as well. But let's see. Hope we won't have to restart the stream. That wouldn't be great, but we'll see. Apologies for the delay, viewers. I know we're trying to get this set up. Might be something with this, so I hope we don't have to restart the stream, but if we do, no problem. I'll just restart it, and then you all can join over there. But, okay. David's rejoined, and still, I don't see him. Must be something with this app thing that we have. I hate when technology does this to me. Everything was going perfect, and then, of course, this app thing, or internet, or whatever, something happened. All good, though. Let me quickly see. I wonder why we can't get this going. Oh, thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate that, TMS. What do you think about the redesign of the Le Mans chicane? I view the outcome quite critically. Well, to be honest, I think that it's a good redesign, but I think that it has flaws too. You know, it's just how it goes. The problem with it is that there's no grass. I prefer the grass like I was before. But in general, it's quite not the greatest. I think that compared to to previous years. It kind of looks like especially I think there's a photo going around online where it's like it's all rain. You can see like the track's all wet, and there's just nothing. You can't really see the racing line. So it might be different from on track view, but for me, I feel that as a disadvantage. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm kind of like 50-50. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with this connection thing. I can't get David on here. So I'm going to try and restart the stream to see if that works. Give us like maybe 50 seconds and then join the other stream. Sometimes this app does this and then it fixes itself once I restart the app. So I'm going to go do that. We'll restart the stream, join there, give us 30 seconds, 50 seconds at most, and then we'll be back. So thank you so much.